Oh, Keith, how you doing, buddy?
Doing good, George. How you doing?
I'm unbelievable. Had a very productive day, doing a couple little oddball things I needed to do, including clean my car.
Well,
Um,
you are an
that kind of
oddball.
thing. So you got to do those things, right?
We're
This is
plagued with
true.
pollen here right now. Everything's yellow. The pines are pollinating, and we got lots of pines. So
Yeah.
everything here's just got a thick coat of yellow on it. There's
Cool.
no way
Cool.
around it.
So what is the is it for you there in South Carolina? Is it crappie season, or is that
Ye-
already passed because of the
Crappie
warm?
season's crappie season's coming to an end. They've either spawned or they're just about spawned out right now. So, well, I don't know that there's ever a off season now. I mean, it's just fishing for them different for whatever situation they're in. But they're going to be pulling out a lot deeper soon because
Sure.
they've been spawning shallow, and
Yeah.
they're pretty easy targets when they push up shallow like that.
Yeah, we're getting slowly into that season now.
Yeah.
We've actually we're actually going to maybe have a 70-degree coming up maybe in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
But we'll see the fours. We'll actually see we'll see threes, fours, fives, sixes, and sevens over the next 5 days. And that's just how it's going to go. So we'll take it. I mean, I'm not in the swelter 80s like you kids. So
Yeah, we've had a few 80+ degree days down here in a row, and that really, I mean, our trees are, leafing out now, not
yeah,
blooming, but leafing out. We're at that
gotcha,
point.
gotcha. Cool. So guys, it's Testosterone Tuesday and roll call. I get going. I got a tea in one hand. I got my phone and my keys in the other. And I don't promise miracles. I know we don't promise miracles. I just know that my brain has stopped asking where the keys are, where the phone is, and asking for a nap at 2 o'clock because we use the what? We're using the very simple 3-set reset. So, guys, are excited that you're here. We've got Jim or James, and we've got Keith, and we've got some great friends. I mean, we've really become good buds, and we've met each other and been around each other, and we see each other almost every day virtually. And so we're going to talk a little bit about our experiences with what the events are. Now, we aren't promising miracles, we aren't promising health things. We're just going to talk about us and what we've experienced. And for me, the idea that I could go these different shapes. Well, look at this. It's not going to give me my color, is it? It's going to say blurry. Oh my gosh, it's all blurred out on me. Oh, yeah. Well, that's the way it goes. Keith's got his pulled it man faster than me, probably. There we go. Does that make it better? It's still blurry though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
not
still
really.
blurry.
It wants the thing wants everything to be blurry. So anyway, we've changed. That's how's that. We have morphed. And over the next 50 minutes or so, we're going to talk over fast as we can a couple of different topics. The first one we're going to have on today's agenda is belly fat and the testosterone trap. Really? So did you experience either one of you? I will go, let's see. I think you guys are the same age. I mean, you're only 50s. So whoever's older than 55. Neither one of you. You pups.
Nice try, George.
You pups. Oh my gosh.
You
Okay.
know how old I am. I'm
Yes,
20 years younger than you.
yeah, I know we chat. All right. I would just go alphabetical order. JK, right? ALMNOPM. Okay, so Jay, you go first. Jay, what is your experience with belly fat and the testosterone trap? What did you learn and how did you see it?
I mean, the weight loss thing is just a given with our protocol. That was the easy part. I mean, it just once I started doing the protocol, the weight just fell off. I'm pushing about 30 pounds of weight loss now and 3 or 4 inches in my waist. Testosterone part of it, I started feeling more like a man and less like a sick old elderly person.
There you
Um,
go. All
yeah,
right. So, what are the stories like? Let's look at this. So, Jim and Keith, what were the changes in terms of the belt holes in your and for your pants? Did the belt holes change? Did your shirt size change? Um, did your getting into a swimsuit, going to the pool proudly change? I mean, talk to me about it. I'll let Keith you go. You're in Florida now.
I was talking to Anne Marie, and I don't have any swim trunks. I have no shorts. When I moved, it was getting close to winter time, so I didn't think about buying, didn't need any. And when I moved, I no longer have shorts that fit, and I've been in shorts the last week and sandals. And I mean, to drop 15 inches on my waist makes a real dampener on finding clothes previously that fit. Now I've got such a selection because I'm down from a 4X to an extra large, and I'm down from a 50 to a 36. I mean, yeah, I went to the beach on Sunday and I realized on my way there that I don't really have any shorts that fit anymore.
So your britches are falling off, huh?
Yeah, I mean I've got a ratcheting belt, and within the first 90 days I chopped almost 11 inches off of it because I tighten it and I was running out of ratchets. I mean, there's only so much space for ratchets.
Right, right.
Well, when you ratchet up to it, to the end of it, and it doesn't hold your pants up, that's a problem. I mean, I think I threw it away now, but I had a good section of belt that was gone, and it's even probably another 6 inches that I could take off. I mean, my belt stops before my pants stop. And that's my struggles. I mean,
Sure.
you gotta bunch up the pants and then sit there and move the belt loops around so you don't look like you're
Yeah, yeah.
4 sizes too big.
There you go. There you go. Like, yeah. And so the issue is that you get to buy. You're stabled off now, though, right? You kind of
Yeah,
sized off, right?
yeah,
About
yeah.
14 inches, then, right?
15,
Oh,
15
15.
inches, 97 pounds.
Wow, got it, got it. And it's not a weight. It's not a weight program, is it?
No, I did not. Before I saw the weight start to disappear, I noticed so many other things that were coming into play. And for the first, gosh, almost a month, and I wasn't even doing it right to the first month. I was still taking meds like they were candy.
Oh my goodness.
And but yeah, I noticed, the energy level, the brain fog, the fact that I didn't have to use insulin anymore. I noticed so many other things
There
prior
you
to
go.
going, I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I'm not really losing any weight, didn't think much of it. And then all of a sudden I jumped on the scale one day, and I was measuring all this stuff 2 and 3 times a day.
Yeah. And
Because
you made the decision independent. I mean, you're a single guy, right?
yes.
You're single like me. We're single, But but you made the decision on your own. Now, Jim, you were it was kind of decided for you, I think. Wasn't that how that went?
Yeah, I mean, my wife started the protocol originally, and I was dead set against it. I was taking all kinds of medication and some supplements, and I'm just like, I'm not taking anything else. Enough's enough. And, I put my foot down. Well, being the married man, I get to put my foot down until she tells me I'm not. So,
Yes, there you
um,
go.
no, she started seeing such
Sure.
great results that uh, immediately I'm like, hey, I want to see that. I want some of that. So
Yeah, and as a girl, didn't she lose like 14 pounds in 11 days or some just
yeah, she
and
she
I'm just
lost she lost quite a bit of, but being a guy, but I wasn't paying any attention to per se weight loss with her, but I started noticing improvement in physical features. Her face started looking
oh
skinnier. Just actual visual, the visual, I started seeing it. I mean, and that's the beauty of it, as you start improving your health with this protocol, you start seeing it. I mean, physically seeing what's going on with someone, it's so noticeable.
So when you
So
started, so when she was leaning into you to start the 3-step reset, was she looking at it for you to change your belt size, your shirt size, or what was her intent? Do you know?
no, not at all. Just with the plethora of health issues that I was dealing with,
Okay.
her heart was, hey, this can change your health, improve your life, probably add years to your life, so that was the main goal, was something that could, you know change me metabolically from the inside out, which
Okay.
has happened, and really
So let
really
me
helping.
ask this. Let me ask you guys both this. Are you getting the success because you're working out more, Jim? Are you
No,
doing more workouts or
well, it's kind of a twofold thing. No, I'm not like, hitting the gym and running miles. But on the same token, I have so much more energy now, and I feel so much better that I'm most definitely way more active because I feel good and I want to be.
and
So,
yeah, so you
it's
could you actually could do it, but you don't need to do it, right? And then
um
when
yeah.
you
I mean, I won't say you don't need exercise.
well,
That wouldn't
no,
be
you're
accurate.
not gonna
But
sit on the couch like
yeah,
a slug, right?
yeah, exactly. I don't. I don't feel bad, so therefore I don't sit around as much as I used to. I don't have to stop and rest as often. I can
Oh,
do more without fatigue, without shortness of breath, without all the things that were
perfect.
plaguing me before.
Sure, Keith, and is that your experience too?
Oh yeah, when I first started, George, I had a friend of mine, and we started going to the gym pretty religiously, and I haven't gone to the gym in probably 2 months, and I've still got the energy. But like James had said, I'm just more active.
Right.
I don't find myself just sitting on the couch watching TV or something. I'm up usually doing something, whether it be, going to the beach or shopping or whatever, going and working at my brother's house. Um, I'm just that much more active, and I'm not as wiped at the end of the day. You're not like,
Sure.
oh God, that was just horrible, you know.
And
And that's really
another thing is, I struggled with sleep. I mean, I struggled with sleep. I would be lucky to get a 2 or 3 hours, 4 hours of sleep at night,
Yes.
and also with the protocol and feeling better, not hurting as bad, feeling good, being more active. I sleep better now. I sleep
Yeah.
so much better,
and and
so I
and,
get rest.
and Keith, you would agree on that too as well. That
Oh, most definitely. I noticed that was one of the early on things when my neuropathy, I was on three different pain meds for my neuropathy, and I'd wake up the next day and be like, my neuropathy's, did I take a pill? I don't
oh real
remember. And I started just not taking them because before it was religious. You could almost set your clock by it.
really
Yeah, and I started sleeping better almost immediately. Within a couple weeks, I was going from every 2 hours getting up and either going to the bathroom or walking or because of leg cramps and to where I started sleeping through the night, and it has it was truly liberating to be able to sleep a full night's sleep and wake up and feel refreshed.
Isn't that
Exactly.
exciting? Because one of the things that when we get a deeper sleep, one of the things that a lot of people don't understand is that testosterone really goes into production when you have deep sleep. And that is a king hormone for a lot of things, but not getting up, that's not having the appetite where you got to get up and go eat or pee or drink or move around to get the cramps out or we hear the stories on some of the girls where they go out and they got to take an ice cold shower, so they can sleep. I mean, and then like were either one of you? I've never been, and see, my story on sleep is I'm a ninja sleeper. When I go to sleep, I'm done. I don't move. I don't make noises until I get up, and I sleep fast. I'm traditionally about a 4-hour get up and go. I'm ready to run. But when I was going through this whole mess, back in the day, I was 24 hours a day. I was somewhere going to the bathroom, and that type of thing. And at night, it was just an angina. It didn't matter if you drank before you went to bed or if you didn't. It didn't matter one iota. Now, were either one of you guys? Did you ever have to be on one of those masks, apparatuses, or things like that?
20 some years ago, they tried it, and then I had the surgery that removed the uvula and all that stuff, and that took care of that. But yeah, that was probably 27 years ago, something like that.
Okay. Okay, so then you didn't have to have the machine or
Yeah.
anything. Okay. So the surgery over the machine, and now if you didn't have to have either one, it'd be sweeter than a pie, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
Perfect. So great. So yeah, like we just talked about, the last segment was brought to you by the 3-step reset system, because we can't speak the science, but the bell holes and our moods migrated in the right direction, didn't they, guys? Okay. So now let's talk a little bit about Ed. Good old Ed. Mr. Ed, right? Mr. Ed and his morning chopping wood, which are metabolic red flags. So, guys, with ED, weak morning issues with the flagpole and the tent pole, mowing the yard, whatever you want to talk about it. Did you ever, if you had those issues, you can just yes or no or not at all, just nod. But when you had that discussion, if you did with a medical professional, did they ever talk to you about insulin resistance as a cause? Was that ever part of your discussion?
Nope. It was just, here's a pill. See if that helps. Literally,
Okay.
it was less than a 5-minute conversation.
And did you bring it up? I mean,
I had to bring it up.
you had to bring it up. I mean, the conversation.
Yes.
You had to bring it up, and then you had to have the conversation. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And so sometimes it's considered a plumbing issue, but they never talk about it and relate it to what? The cardiovascular side of it, do they, Jim?
No. That was never anything that I had talked to a doctor about. Never. I mean, I can't sit here and say it wasn't a problem. It's just nothing that, with all the other health issues going on, that didn't seem to be a top priority.
That wasn't the big deal.
And I didn't. Sometimes you don't realize something's broke until it's fixed. Put it that way.
Okay.
So until it got much better, I didn't realize where I was with it. Once I started doing the protocol and started seeing the results we all know comes from that, I was suffering. I truly was at a deficit. So big improvement, huge.
Yeah, and it makes a difference in a lot of ways. I mean, it's hard. I mean, I'm excited we're talking about it because it's not a normal table talk discussion,
No.
and it's not even hardly advertised anymore. It's now it's all skin stuff and this stuff and that stuff and another stuff. You don't hardly see any ED commercials anymore. You don't see the blue pill or
not nearly as much as you see the GLPs.
Yeah.
That
seems like it's every commercial. It's like, oh,
new fad, yeah.
And with diseases that are being created because they got a med for it. I think. I don't know. I mean, it's like I don't know. It's just like there's another holiday, so they've got another kind of peeps. I mean, like
peeps.
It's like I just think about it. I mean, there was Christmas peeps, and there's Valentine's peeps, and there's leprechaun cheeps, and then there's Easter peeps, and there'll
Yep.
be patriotic peeps, and there'll, I don't
Well,
know.
the Easter peeps are the OG peeps. They started it all, right?
Yeah, they did that, and the recipe doesn't change, the shape does, and the color dye does, right? I mean, it's just like, oh my God. I gotta ask, do you like peeps at all?
I'm not a peep guy.
No,
Never
me either.
have been.
No. What about you, James?
I've ate my share of them in my day, but no,
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, to me, they're just a little package of heroin now. I wouldn't touch it. It's about
Yeah.
it's about as bad for you.
My crutch was Girl Scout cookies. If they
Which
came
ones?
around, I'd buy a case at a time
Of what kind?
of Thin Mint, the
Oh,
Girl
the Thin
Okay.
Scout
Mints.
cookies.
Yeah. Yep. I get that.
When I
Uh,
moved, I gave my daughter 8 boxes because I'm like, well, I'm not going to eat them. So here you go.
wow. Yeah. There you go. Those. Yeah.
If
I
I ate
under,
if
I
I ate
understand that.
if I ate one of them little packs of peeps now, I'd probably look like the Tasmanian devil spinning all around the house.
Right.
Overload.
Little sugar overload. Yeah.
We'll
Yeah,
just blame
major.
it on George. It's all
Yeah,
good.
that'd be my
Yeah.
fault, right? All right. So we're going to talk about something totally related to that. Chocolate Easter bunnies. Do you eat the head or the tail? The head? Are you the ear guy? Or are you the tail guy? And we'll get on to another subject, but I answered it first.
I
Are you
always started on top.
are your ears? Okay. James, what are you?
Same with me. I'd work from the top down.
There you go. All right. Okay. So we're unanimous on that. All right, perfect. So now let's look at something else. We've talked about ED, the morning wood, which is a metabolic flag. And we've talked about our personal examples and that kind of stuff. So thanks for sharing, guys. Fatty liver, the silent beer belly you didn't earn. Where did you ever earn one of those?
I mean, I had the fat belly, that's for sure. I never, of course, I never had a medical doctor tell me, that I had fatty liver, but one could only assume that I was sure working on it.
Were you solid fat on your belly? Was that solid or is that jiggly?
Um, it was pretty solid. I mean, I guess you could jiggle to some extent, but it definitely was, was a lot of weight I was carrying around there, the midsection.
And you weren't a drinker at all, were you, James?
I drank my share of beer, and I wasn't a hard liquor drinker, but I loved cold beer.
Cold beer. All right. How about
Yeah.
Keith? Where were you at on that world?
I quit drinking, oh gosh, 30 years ago when I was 25. I saw the road I was going down and went, yep, nope, this ain't going to work.
All right.
And I just stopped. But I was almost 300 pounds and it was hard as a rock. In fact,
Okay.
I went in the hospital probably in my early 20s, and the left side or the right side of my belly was more protruded than the rest of it. And they're like, oh, that's just fat. I'm like, oh, okay, well, then why is it so uncomfortable? And they never gave me a real answer, but I'm assuming that's when I started having the fatty liver.
Sure. Because it's that hard, that visceral
Oh
fat.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was hard as a brick. There was a I thought it was something serious. I went to the hospital. My dad met me down there and he's like, "Oh, that's all it is?" I'm like, "I didn't know."
So they kind
Yeah,
of just, again, it was just kind of like, yeah, here's a pill, go have a nice day. Or
pretty much.
did they advise you on your nutrition or
No,
diet or nothing?
no. The only nutrition advice I got in that entire probably last 30-year process was, well, you can eat a cookie or two, you just can't eat a lot of them. You can eat a couple
Okay.
M&Ms, you just can't eat a lot of them. And
All
that came
right.
right
What?
from my diabetic coach.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So when we're looking at that fatty liver and that belly, did you ever connect between the sugary snacks or late night eating with that? That wasn't really the thought, or was that the
Nope.
thought ever?
Was
Jim?
never the thought.
James?
I mean, if when I would get up, you know, bigger than I wanted to be, I just my thought was I need to eat less. that just something general like that. But I had no concept or educated, thoughts on it at all.
Yeah.
Just, you
Okay.
don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Yep.
And see, you
I was
guys,
a grazer.
yeah, were you? Yeah. And see, I lived the two, you guys in the 50s, so you guys were 1970 people. And so you've only been in the modern day food environment. I've been in the pre-modern day food environment and graduated high school in 70, and I was 128 pounds. Okay. When I went to college, and I found the modern day food environment. And from graduation in high school in May to December at Christmas time, I went from 128 to 180. I found the modern, there's a freshman 10 they always kind of talk about and chuckle. Yeah, heck no. I was I grabbed up 60 of them on the front end.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
boom, bang. I never saw, I guess I never saw a pizza or a beer I didn't like. And, that's, but I left the discipline and the normal meals to, hey, here we are. And it's in front of you all the time. And like, yeah, so I get that. So late night snacking, was that a thing for you? Either one of you? Did you get up at night and eat, or just you ate like maybe you had popcorn or pizza or
Yep.
cake or ice cream at, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10?
I had snacks hidden everywhere. I had them at friends' houses in case I had an issue and I needed something. I'd grab it, and I. But yeah, I ate a crap ton of pizza, and I was brought up in the hostess age, where if the family trip went anywhere, there was bags of it and boxes of it that went with. You can't stop on the road, but here we got something we can snack on while we're driving. And then it shifted to more peanuts and
Was that like the ding dongs and the ho hos and the
oh yeah, the
Twinkies and
Twinkies,
little Miss
the
Daisy or whatever
the Swiss, not Swiss Miss, but that too, but
Swiss rolls.
yeah,
Yeah,
Swiss
Swiss rolls.
rolls.
I love those things. Little Debbie cakes.
Debbie
Yep.
cakes. There we
Yeah.
go. Okay. All
And
right.
then the
All right.
oatmeal cream pies, and
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Then I
great.
graduated up to the double decker cream pies. They'd have
Yep.
two.
The big fat ones. Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Oh my gosh. Great. Well, now, guys, at the bottom of the hour, this is with the sponsor moment. Listen up. This before our heaviest meals. I hit the F off format. Now, that's fasting, order of food, which is fiber, fat, and protein. Now, I do know that protein starts with the P, but I'm Filipino and we don't say Filipino. We say Filipino. So protein for me starts with an F. And then we might hit carbs. So all I know is I don't feel like Thanksgiving turkey at 2 o'clock in the afternoon anymore. Your mileage, your metabolism is yours, how it works, guys. So how are you guys with the order of food? What is your energy like when you eat? What are you guys doing? What's your plan?
Well, I start off everything with the fiber, right? Our fiber blend. I don't with every meal. I don't do it just with my biggest meal. I do it before every time I eat, and I try to eat something decent. I stay away from the carbs and the sugars as much as possible, other than what you get in your. You got to
Yeah.
have some in your food, but I stay away from the blatant stuff. I try to eat good protein and some vegetables, and every once in a while I might have a little bit of fruit or something. But I stay away from the candy and the liquid sugars and all that to you know as much as I don't do it. I don't do it anymore. Um,
Okay.
I finally feel good again, and I don't want to jeopardize that. I don't want to do anything to mess it up.
There you
Yeah,
go.
exactly.
Th-
Yeah, like I'm similar to James. I always every meal doesn't matter. I take a fiber. And then like tonight I had vegetables, I had some green beans, and I had some bratwurst with no buns and a banana. That was the extent of my dinner, and I saved the banana for last. And I started off with my fiber, and I used to, when I would eat, I'd just be pouring sweat. Not anymore. That has
Really?
all gone away. And I never even acclaimed it to. It was the sugar.
Sure. Now,
You know, I
do you feel like you have more energy
oh
um,
yeah,
during the day and after meals? Do you feel like do you get the sleepiness like you used to get?
not at all. That I don't get. And then when I'm done eating, I go for a walk. And if it's not rain or if it's raining, I've got a machine under my desk that's a stepper that sit there and turn it on for 20, 30 minutes and just go to town. But I don't feel deprived at all during the day, and I don't feel tired in the evening after eating.
Now, why in the world would you take a walk, James, after eating? Why would you I mean, good grade. Once you eat, aren't you supposed to take a nap? I mean, isn't
No,
that what you're
actually,
supposed
no,
to
you're
do?
not supposed to. That's what everybody wants to do, it seems. But no, if you take a decent walk after you eat, it helps you in many ways, and the biggest one is it does help with your digestion. you know, and get some steps in and keep the cardiovascular system going and actually aids in the digestion, and helps you to not have that crash or that tired feeling. And
Right.
Lord knows I used to crash big time. My worst thing was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon in my office when I worked, before I retired. I'd go eat lunch, and by about 2 o'clock, it was just there was no being productive. It was just a matter of trying to hold my eyes open. That was the work.
Try to make
Matter
it
of
try to make it over, right?
Yeah,
matter
just
of survival.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I had it bad.
it really.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that I'm dumb at 3 o'clock dementia type thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Hmm.
So the show is brought to you by the only tea I've ever finished that didn't come with a side of regret and a drive-through bag. Flagpoles and focus up, guys, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about brain fog. Let's talk a little bit about dementia fears or concerns. And then that I'm dumb at 3 o'clock. What was your experience with brain fog, if any?
I was forgetting everything. I like you would make 2 or 3 trips back into the house if you went to go somewhere, and it never failed. When I got where I was going, to be like, ah, crap, I forgot. I didn't get this. I forgot to grab that. And you go home and it's like you have explained, it's sitting all together. You just didn't grab it all together. You grabbed one piece at a time and took it with you. And God,
Yes.
I mean, I was forgetting everything.
Yeah.
I was losing track of people's names
Yeah. In the
that
mid
I'd known
conversation while you're
forever.
talking to him. We could be talking and I'd forget your name. I would say, and I go like, oh gosh. No, I mean, in my head, I'm playing Wheel of Fortune. I'm trying to buy a vowel. I know there's an R in it. Gosh, oh, Molly's listening to us. Hey, Molly, keep listening, but don't trip. She's listening to us. Well, I hope she's smiling, going at it. So, James, what about brain fog for you? I mean, you were in construction project management, right, or something like that.
I run the state's bridge inspection program. Yeah,
Well, you had
engineering,
to be alert.
and I had a construction company too. Um, yeah, I needed to be. It was a struggle. I think about now with my mental clarity. I mean, Lord, I could have been employee of the year every year with all I did in the shape that I was in, and compared to now with the mental clarity and the concentration I have, I would have loved to have had it back then. You
Isn't
know,
that something? Really, really.
yeah.
You start thinking back, the clarity that we have now is
Oh yeah.
we had no idea how until it got really bad when we were like I was and you know, I mean, when you get that bad, then it's like, yeah, I mean, we stopped driving. We stopped, you know, we try to pull back and then we start pulling away from social settings. I
Yeah.
don't, you know, we start to isolate. I don't know about you, but I did. I was
Yep.
starting to be like, uh, I don't need, I'm happier when it's me quiet, alone, and not in crowds.
Yeah.
And no, I don't want to go to a festival. I don't want to go places I would used to go and enjoy and being in that noise
Hmm.
and stimulation to like, yeah, no, this is okay. I'm you know, even like just to put it this way, like a comparative, yeah, if you've ever been to Las Vegas, you know what that's like, the chaos going on around the machines and the people and all that. My favorite place in Vegas became Lake Las Vegas. Now, you may never heard of Lake Las Vegas, but it's out towards the dam and it's there's maybe two Mediterranean Monte Carlo kind of casinos with stone walks and the lake, and I mean you could game, but it was quiet, and there wasn't
Yeah.
the chaos of the people, and it was you could go out to the greenery and not be around people. So that kind of became, you know, I got and one of the things I like to do is sing, and I like doing Gregorian chant, which is a different type of written music and staffs and all of that. And it's also doing Latin. And you gotta kind of know the noons and the structure and how to hold and move and then pronounce the words and know what you're saying rather than just blah, 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 blah. So I kind of had to back off of some of that, which is really became kind of a emotional tragedy for me. Cool. So, guys, the next question I have is: did either one of you have any concerns about dementia or anything else like that at all?
I didn't know enough about dementia to realize the signs. Honestly, it was never a whole lot of thought for me. Um, Dementia really became aware to me later in life when I started taking care of my dad and my stepmom.
Hmm.
She suffered from it, and I got to see firsthand how horrific it could be. And then once I started on the protocol, there again, you don't realize how bad you're being affected with something until it's better. You don't know how bad you feel till you're better. Well, I was having a lot of those early onset symptoms of dementia. The forgetfulness, the why did I come into the kitchen now that I'm here? Um, you go to refer to one of your kids and you run through 3 or 4 names before you get to the right one. All those things. I was, I was truly seeing some of the early signs of it prior to um, finding the protocol and straightening myself out.
And we learned how to mask. We learned how to mask that in
Yes.
quality pauses. I don't know about you, but I certainly would because I could go and I could just divert and go around to come back to whatever it was if I remembered what it was I was coming back to.
Yep.
And but those pauses in my brain, I was like, now there was silence and it seemed like forever. And I'm thinking that they're waiting and waiting. So I had to grab something else to talk about. But that pausing in there, and yeah, quite frankly, I didn't want to go down that path because I'd already seen it and lived with it, and it's a crushing thing. And to go through it when we're our younger ages, that's really, because when I was a kid, people that were old, had those issues were they were 80s plus, and it wasn't everybody, but they were 80s plus.
Hmm.
Now we got people 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
And there's a huge difference. And that brain fog and those other symptoms are things, and the withdrawal. So you have Lewy body syndrome, and the frontal ones are the different types of dementia. So it's not always Alzheimer's, and some of those mood swings and changes. It's really great that we have the clarity and we can recognize that now, isn't it? Because
Oh yeah.
no one would have, if someone told you 10 years ago, would you have listened to them, just kind of blown them off?
I like to think I would have listened to him. I mean, when I was in the hospital, George, I literally told the nurses a couple of different times there towards the end of my visit that I thought I was losing my mind. I'd wake up and not where I'm at, not know where I'm at, think I'm in a different place. And, I'd hear talking and I'd think, places I don't think I've ever been or hadn't been in 20 years. And all of a sudden, why am I in there? Why am I here? And I had no clue at all. And I went through dementia training when I was a maintenance director at a nursing home in a assisted care, two facilities.
Right.
And they put the goggles on, the mittens, and you're trying to count change it. I mean, and it still didn't click that I was starting down that path.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So now let's go. Just looking about mentality. Now we're just some dudes on StreamYard, guys, talking testosterone, insulin resistance, midlife chaos, not crisis, chaos. And common denominator is a simple 3-step reset system. The only claim we're making, people, is that these are our personal stories and not medical advice. The question I have is, did you ever notice in your moods that you were becoming I just don't care syndrome?
Yep.
Or the get off my lawn syndrome? Did you were you ever so schizophrenic that you didn't know what mood you were in? And nobody else knew what mood you were going to be in or out of? Where were you guys at from that?
I was rapidly approaching grumpy old men. I truly was. I was, and until I wasn't that way and I was actually happy, it didn't even clue in that everything was, yeah, I don't even want to be around these people. I don't, you don't realize that because it's such a slow transformation, or it was for me. I mean, I I pretty much hated everybody, including myself, probably. And now it's just, I'm back to being carefree and enjoying life and talking to good people all the time. And
Sure. Perfect. James, were you ever down the grumpy old man path or the I don't care syndrome? Where were you at mentally on that?
I had anger issues, George. I mean, I had serious anger issues. I had a very stressful job. I had a lot on my plate. I was a workaholic, and it just got to the point I just was angry. I didn't like myself. I didn't like people. I mean, you. I probably shouldn't say this, but I will. I could be standing talking to somebody, and I wouldn't be hearing what they were thinking. I'd be thinking how much I'd like to punch them in the face. Just
Yeah.
stupid.
Yep.
Just
no
I just,
punch.
yeah. I mean, why? Just anger.
Yeah.
I
Where did it
there was
come
just,
from? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
think,
comes out of nowhere.
I
Yeah.
mean,
But now we
I
know
just
it came
had
from where.
rage. I
Now we
had
know it came from
rage.
our gut, didn't it? Now we know
Yes,
that
sir.
it's all because of our gut.
And I
Mhm.
should say my gut was a mess at that time. I mean, I was a mess at that time, and I didn't know. I just thought, and I went to the doctor about it, and guess what they did? They gave me a pill.
A happy pill, divergent
Well,
pill.
I guess it was supposed to be a happy pill. It was a I don't know that there's a difference between an antidepressant and an anti-anxiety pill, but they were saying it was anxiety, so they gave me a pill to combat that.
Cool.
So
They
then,
gave you some kind of thing to
Yeah.
slow you down and
I would
numb
take
you
a pill
up.
and be mad at
Yeah,
everybody.
a pill. Here's a pill. Have a nice day.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Yeah, I get that. Well, guys, we're coming out of our time. We got a couple minutes to go. We got another call. We got a couple more calls yet to get on tonight. I appreciate you coming on board because the one thing that we know about is that we are about trying to help others, and we want to share our stories, and we want to understand that I put on some humor spins on it because otherwise people would just run away and sob.
Yeah.
We want people to understand there is hope, there's life after not feeling well, being tired, having ED, having a fatty liver, not being able to control our cravings, our diets, our blood pressure, our blood sugar, our hair falling out, brain fog, gout, joint inflammation, tags, skin acne. I mean, you name it, all of it relates back to this crazy thing that we're able to work around. We've found with our own personal stories that this 3-step reset, etc., along with some changes in our eating habits, not having to go crazy diet, not having to go extreme gymnasiums and workouts and all that, but we get to live our life normal, what would be now our new normal, on the very simple plan. And it's just our stories. James has a great story. And if you want to chat with James sometime, look him up. He's out there and he's got access to education and coaching and teaching. And Keith is out there and Keith has access. Now, those two guys, now one's kind of South Carolina and the other one's kind of Florida. And I'm not.
No, you're not.
But we're passionate about what we do. We're passionate about sharing. And every Tuesday, we're back out here and we're talking. They may be on, other guys may be on. And guys, let's understand, I keep using the word guys, but girls, you got testosterone too.
Yep.
We got some estrogen going on once in a while too. So the whole thing is hormones make a difference. And getting our gut well, getting that work together, getting our blood work down and controlled, it really makes the difference. And we feel so much better. We have more energy to the point that we are willing to share because we want to help you and share it to others. So guys, I love you. I really do. I appreciate your time. I love it. I'll see you guys after a bit. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, George.
Thanks, George.